Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. We've got a lot of cool people on the TED Show today, and we're going to kick it off again with the one and only Abby Greenberg. She is a finalist, a winner. How do we say this? You get the golden ticket because you are there at the 35 under 35. You qualified for that, and what a blessing that is, and kudos to you. We're going to talk about selling sunshine, the golden group. I want to sing that song so bad from the Golden Girls. I saw you hashtag that. Well, enough about me, though. What's up, Abby? Thank you for being on the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. I got the email, your assistant reached out to me and was like, Ted was trying to feature all the agents. And I'm like, yes. I have a background with radio and media, so this is just so exciting to me that I get to kind of bring the two together because I haven't done it.
That's why you're a natural. You've got the good setting in the back. Your lighting's perfect. Okay, mine is not, as we all know. Yeah, so that's awesome. So let's take a deep dive into that. I told you before we went live that the audience really does love an origin story. They want to get to know Abby pre-realtor, and kind of how you got to where you're at. So give them a little 411 on the one and only Abby Greenberg.
Okay, so I'm originally from Jupiter and moved up to Orlando to go to UCF, which was actually I was an engineer major. I don't know what I was thinking. I just know that they really liked
You were engineering?
Yes.
Bless you.
I know. And then they had me build a car. I think it was because I maybe wanted to be the only girl with a whole class of men. I don't know. But yeah, after the car building experience, I decided that wasn't necessarily for me. Went more into marketing, advertising, and that's where I'm at today. Shortly after graduating college at UCF.
Go Knights. I'm a Knight.
Yes, go Knights. Beautiful stadium. And great win the other night. So right after graduating, went into small business, worked in media advertising, digital billboards, radio advertising, doing voiceovers, and I just loved it. I managed a design department. It's so funny because back then we didn't have Canva. Remember,
what did we do before Canva?
I have no idea. I just know that I had to try to manage a design department, not knowing how to use Photoshop. And I would go and draw these little billboards with stick figures on them. And I would just say, make it happen. And that, if you ask my team now, that's probably still my management style. Very little detail, just make it happen.
That's how I am. Yes, I like to, I know the big picture, but I need somebody to do the stuff that I don't know how to technically do.
Correct. Yes, that's how I am. And I loved small business. I loved marketing. And after that, I decided to get married and have kids at the young age of 25. I'm now a full-time single mom of a 3 and 5-year-old, and they are just, they give a whole new purpose to life. And you work differently, you're motivated differently. It's really cool, and they inspire me. I feel like I have the typical I'm going to be a realtor story when everybody has a realtor and they're like, that wasn't great. Yeah, and I just knew that I was ready to get back into work. And when I was a stay-at-home mom, I did a lot of volunteering. I was on a lot of co-chairs for the Junior League of Greater Orlando. I co-hosted or co-chaired a lot of 5Ks and family events, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for the community while being a stay-at-home mom, because I just knew that when I was ready to get back into it, I wasn't going to have this dead resume.
Yes.
I am now the president of a women's organization where I have 100 members. And it's so funny, the leadership skills that come from that is just amazing. And I tell this story all the time, that when I used to go up there, my agenda was typed in these big letters with all of the words in alternating colors so that I didn't miss a line. And now I have somebody that types my agenda for me and I read it when I get up there.
What's the organization?
It's the Suburban Republican Women's Club.
Awesome. See, I think the involvement that you're talking about, it kind of takes you down that trajectory. It is good that you didn't have the dead space in your resume, but why real estate? I like to ask that question. Did you had a bad experience and you said, this isn't what I want? Did you have any experience in that kind of sales, like in residential? How did you know that this was for you, and how did you get there?
It wasn't necessarily that the residential sales was for me. I've always loved house flipping. So my dad has been a house flipper since I was younger, and that's all that I can really think back to. Now he still buys houses and flips them. So it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to get into real estate with him to sell him houses. It was just that I figured being a stay-at-home mom, it was something that was going to help me be home with my kids and choose the schedule that I wanted to. Where the whole saying of like, oh, flexible, I have all this free time. That is definitely not the truth. We work a lot. And I think that's how I was able to achieve what I was able to achieve in my first year. But I am able to choose my schedule. Like if my child has to have surgery, which he did 2 weeks ago in the middle of the day,
Oh gosh, is
I
he
can
okay?
work. He's so much better now. He's actually had this terrible ear infection for a year and a half. And last night we celebrated with a cake that had an ear on it because he's all better.
Oh my God, I want to see a picture of that cake.
I
That's
can show you. It's really funny. But I get to choose. Like if I have to wake up earlier at 5 a.m. that day or work till 3 a.m. that night so that I can fit in what they need me for, then I'm able to do that.
yes.
And I love that I get to choose who I work with. Like when you really think about real estate, we get to choose to have a happy, successful life. We get to choose from the start to the finish of a transaction, really who we're involved with. You
Yes.
know, if it's an agent that we maybe didn't have that great of an experience with, and you are like, this is going to Debbie me down for a month, like refer them to an agent in your office. Like just choose to work with people that you want to work with that make you better. And and if you don't really like working with them, it's only going to last for about 30 days. And then the contract's over.
Well, I love that. I love that advice because I think a lot of people, especially in our worlds, they'll take anybody. They're like, I'll take anything. I just want to take any client. I'm going to suffer through it. You know, sometimes just like every other business, it's not the right fit.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that you're not a great realtor. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're a horrible client. It just means that it's not the right fit. And I think a lot of people spend way too much on trying to make those the right fit, and they're missing out on opportunities that they could have with the right fit. So, how did you figure out your balance? A 3 year old and a 5 year old, you're super involved in the community, and you have a thriving, successful real estate business. What's the balance for you? Do you yoga? Do you throw axes? What does Abby Greenberg do to kind of keep it all balanced?
Um, I go to real estate conventions. I get to tell their grandparents that I'm going away for work and it's really necessary. And if I don't take this week off at this conference, then it's really going to hurt my career. But that's what boosts me. That's what makes me thrive. That's my social time. Okay, if you really think about it, I don't want to go to a bar and talk to somebody about something I don't want to talk about. I'm going to go out and talk about work. So why don't I go to a place and fill my social cup with a bunch of people where I'm going to talk about work?
Agreed. And that helps you. Is that what relaxes you? Do you have spa days? I think what I want younger realtors to do, younger in the business or younger age wise, is to kind of get a feel for how you got to the point where you realized what your balance was. Because I would imagine there's a lot of trial and error in that.
There's a lot of trial and error, and I don't know if I'm really yet at my balance. Um, I get my lashes filled, and I call it a lash nap because it's the only time where I can't read my text messages.
That's a good one. A lash nap.
Yes, yeah, it forces me to take a lash nap, and I think that self-care and feeling your best, and then when I feel my best on a daily basis, it helps me be a better agent. It helps me be there for my clients. It helps me engage with the community more. And I think it's like that with everything in life. So taking the time to take care of yourself and self-care, and my self-care, maybe my hair and my lash naps. And um, I don't like sitting at a nail salon getting my nails done because I think it's an absolute waste of time. So I try from time to time if there's an event like the Orphees.
The Orpies are here tomorrow night. We're all excited about it.
Yes, I can't wait. But I think that that's what I really enjoy. Just I haven't found my balance, and I'm happiest when my business is running smoothly, when there's more business in the pipeline, and it's really just what makes me happy right now.
Talk about the shift because there's been a little bit of a shift, and you've got a whole bunch of people screaming the sky is falling. What are you seeing from your perspective for the market, the real estate market? Are you seeing all of this, the negativity that we get on all media, or are you still busy? And what's the secret if you are?
I am still very busy. I don't watch the news. I pay attention.
There's the secret right there.
Yes, I do not watch the news. I pay attention to what's important and what's relevant to my business. Such as this morning, we had a sales meeting at our office with all the principal agents of Compass in the Winter Park and Dr. Phillips locations. And we talk about those things. We have weekly sales meetings. We have um, tons of training and market updates from the right people. And rather than filling my head with everybody's opinion, the media is an opinion, really is. And if we look at the data and we look at the facts, houses are still selling in under 30 days for a house to sell. That's still a seller's market.
Still amazing, right?
It really is. And if agents, even with being new, I understand that you have to know how to market. You have to know how to sell that house. You're not going to just stick it on the market and it's going to sell itself. You have to step outside of the box. You have to do things that other agents aren't going to do. And you have to work when other agents aren't willing to work. And I think that doing those things are what helps really good agents and strong agents stand out. And that's what's the market isn't going to matter at that point.
Great.
The market, because you're going to price it right, you're going to market it right, and you're going to reach the right buyers and the right sellers.
It's true. I feel like you have to know your market, right? No matter what business you're in, you really do have to be a student of what business you're in, because if you're just flying by the seat of your pants, which is what a lot of people do in our industry as a whole, there's not a lot of, you're just jumping from one frying pan into the other, and there's not a lot of consistency and there's not a lot of productivity. So I love what you said. I think it's so important to kind of know your market, understand your market. And again, guys, this is an under 35. I don't even barely remember 35, let alone under 35. Realtor professional who's out there making things happen. As we wrap it up, when I say the word hero to you, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Hero, the first person would, and I don't want to sound, I guess, self-centered in this, but I want to say it's myself for my children,
I
because
love that. Explain why.
because the I guess the path of sometimes we don't get to choose our circumstances, and we have to make the most of our circumstances. And I have chosen to be a hero for my children and to work hard and to make them proud. And something like this acknowledgement of the 35 under 35 is going to be something that they may not understand now, but I'm really excited to look back with them and say, look at, this is what mommy was doing and this is why. And I just hope that one day they look up to me to be their hero.
That is a fantastic answer. Thank you. All right, Abby, how can they find out more about Selling Sunshine and the Golden Group and all of the amazing things that you're doing? What's the best way for them to reach you and find out more?
On Instagram, I'm Abby Greenberg Realtor, and then our team page is the Golden Group _ Compass. We did just open a Compass satellite office in Lake Mary, downtown Lake Mary, right across from 4th Street. So please come in anytime. We're there. We would love to meet you. We're going to be at the Orpheus tomorrow. And just so Abby Greenberg on Instagram, and then the Golden Group _ Compass. And we have an amazing group of Golden Girls who are there to entertain you and connect with you and work with you if it is the right fit.
I love it. Abby Greenberg, what a joy to have you on. Thank you so much. I understand why you hit that amazing milestone of 35, the top 35, under 35. Abby's website is scrolling across the bottom, but of course we'll tag her. You can find her on Instagram, like she said. Abby, thanks so much for being on the show. I'm excited I get to see you tomorrow night.
I know, I'm excited. We'll have to cheers.
We will cheers for sure. Thank you for what you do in the community. And I absolutely loved your honesty and transparency there. I think a lot of moms, especially single moms, struggle and they don't really know what to do. And they feel like they have 100 million balls in the air, and they do. And so it's always lovely to have somebody come on and kind of share their journey that isn't perfect, that isn't social media perfect. And so thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Abby Greenberg. We'll see her tomorrow night. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for all the love that you showed Abby on all the platforms. We'll be back soon. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Ted. See you tomorrow.